Hi, welcome to another episode of Silver Fox Scotland. The woes of the SNP are boundless, but the worst of all, of course, is their financial woes. We know that they're in deep financial trouble. The publication of their accounts does not make for good reading. Well, it does for us, obviously, but not for them. For you see, they are now, this year, £600,000 in excess, rather than £800,000 in arrears. But before they start reaching for the champagne, they need to be aware of why they're 600,000 in, excess, and it's not good. Now they have had three major donations since Swinney took over, and that is it seems okay. It's about 650,000. Sorry. Mixing up the 800,000. This 650,000, it sounds like it's okay, except for two of them being bequests, i.e. paid out of people's wills. So it's a one-off payment, never to be repeated. And only one major donation of £250,000 came from someone who's still alive. And there's no guarantee that that'll be repeated either. They've had to confirm that they're losing their £1 million a year short money from Westminster. That's gone. That's not coming back. And that's part of the reason, of course, they fired 10 of their headquarters staff. They said to make it more efficient. But that's not it. It's because they're skint. They still haven't paid back the money they owe Peter Murrell. That will be a concern to them. You'd think that that would be something they wanted to get out and get away from. But alas not. And so that still sits on the books as a debt. Now, as I say, they're 600 odd thousand ahead. How have they done that? Well, they have, as I say, raked in that 650,000. And then they snatched, basically, money from all the offices, regional offices and local offices around Scotland. And that gave them about 650,000 as well. And with a few bits of money, about 300,000 that's come in off the members, they've turned that 800,000 deficit into a £600 excess. However, and this is why it's very worrying, all that money they've got in was got in one financial year. However, the election was in the following financial year, this financial year, and that will have cost them more than the £600,000. Plus, you've got the standard running costs as well. And of course, in that previous year, they were still getting the £1 million a year short money. This year, it's going to be very difficult for them because with that short money gone and the cost of running the election campaign, plus all the little by-elections that they're having to pay out for now, plus another by-election in Glasgow for one that they've already had a by-election on because of the Labour Party's inability to follow the rules, it means that they're in dire financial trouble, probably even deeper than they were before. So they went from £800 deficit, £600. It's probably going to be £1.5 million deficit when this year's accounts are pushed. Because after all, they've still got all those overheads, having just got rid of some staff, yes, but they've still got other staff. And they have to pay for all the branch offices, and they have to pay for their nice expensive offices, and they have to pay for the heating, the upkeep, the maintenance, and all these sort of things. Plus printing costs and the costs for running campaigns and that sort of thing. It all adds up, and it adds up quite substantially. And when you lose £1 million in income and you're not likely to get too much more bequests, and your membership numbers are dropping and thus losing money there, then you know that it's going to be bad. It's going to be existentially bad. It could be enough to put them into bankruptcy. And I, for one, would welcome that. To see a world where the SNP basically fail on the accounts front because they're so bankrupt goes to show exactly why they're unsuitable for high office, because they're bankrupting the country as well. Will it happen? Yes. When? Don't know. It's going to happen. They've got falling numbers. At the height, maybe 7 years ago, at the time of the referendum, the income from memberships represented only about 35% of their income. And that was with many, many more members than they have now. They have much fewer members now, and the membership income is now 80% of their income. This is a party that is doomed. They've got to accept it. They are finished. They literally are running out of money, time, talent, skills, and nobody wants them. They've admitted that they cannot go on. It's fantastic reading. And of course, saying that they're not getting money in is absolutely fine because, of course, they're not getting any sponsorship. You know, there's no corporate sponsorship putting the money in anymore. Like I say, there's one private individual who gave £250,000, but you know he can't keep that party afloat like that. The falling memberships are destroying them. The short money's destroying them, and they've got this year's cost of election and current elections going forward. And of course, the worst of it is they've got to start prepping for the Holyrood election in 2026, and that will cost them a fortune as well. The banks very well may look at these numbers, look at where they've been, look what's coming down the line, and decide, you know, through some sort of nifty mathematics, that actually it's probably not worth maintaining the overdraft of a party that is without doubt going to fail. Whether it fails slowly and drifts away, whether it crashes and burns, remains to be seen. But the bank will be aware. The bank will know. There is zero chance that this party can survive, or at least survive in the form it's in. Now, theoretically, it could diminish. It could reduce. It could become a small specialist rump party, you know, reliant almost exclusively on membership. Not have the big flash offices, not have the big high profile. Become a single function party. But it will never have power again if it does that. On the other hand, it shouldn't have power again after what it's done. It's a tough call, isn't it? What do? Try and struggle on? Try and pretend that everything in the garden is rosy? Try and force people or cajole people or lie to people in order to get money in? Or admit the truth, hang it up as a bad job and drift away into the sunset? Personally, I hope they do the second thing, but it's not up to me. Let me know what you think. Till next time, goodbye.